Okay, now everybody's comfy. We'll open the hearing for Auburn 2017-01 medical marijuana amendment. And the additions are, just read them out. We're adding to Article 3, Section 3.08 on medical marijuana. Medical marijuana is defined as ORC Section 3796-01A1, that is cultivated, processed, dispensed, tested, possessed, or used for medical purpose per ORC Section 3796.01A2. And then 308, medical marijuana prohibition. In all zoning districts, medical marijuana cultivators, processors, or retail dispensaries shall be prohibited in accordance with ORC Section 519.21. Any public comment? Now again, we added this to the zoning resolution per the recommendation of the prosecutor's office. The specifics of medical marijuana and the dispensaries have not yet been completely defined. So it was recommended that prohibition on it was the most prudent course of action until everything is finalized, we know what's going on. So that was the rationale for this amendment.
Carl's here.
Huh?
Carl's here.
Come on, Carl, enlighten us.
What is the township's position at this point in regards to this medical program and the possibility of a facility being here in the township?
Well, again, what we're doing is, any specifically here, cultivators, processors, or retail dispensaries shall be prohibited in Auburn. So we're basically, it's a zoning, prohibited through our zoning. So, again, the reason we're prohibiting it is just to protect us until we know exactly what is going on with it, until they finish all the details of the bill.
Okay, would it be proper to ask the question if once you understood all aspects of the bill, do you have any pre-thoughts in regards to would we want this in the township for whatever reasons?
Well, federal laws don't line up with the state laws right now either. It's still illegal federally. I don't know if Auburn Township wants to take the lead in the state of Ohio and be a sanctuary marijuana town, you know. It'd be nice if everybody had, if there was are we against drugs or are we for, you know, medical marijuana? In Ohio we voted for it, some Colorado voted for recreational, and federally it's still just not being enforced.
Are you at liberty to say what the consensus might be of the majority of townships currently in Geauga County in regards to this issue? Townships and/or villages and cities, do we?
As far as I know, everyone, at least that I've talked to, are taking this path, just as a, like I said, precautionary measure. And it was recommended by the prosecutor's office to all the townships, villages, and cities throughout the county. So
this is a little bit the same situation back when Speaker Pelosi advocated the passage of health care, and that we need to vote for it and pass the bill, and then we'll read what's in it. I think we're taking the opposite position, that we gotta find out what are these rules and regulations gonna be before we take a stance and make an official decision. So without leaving us vulnerable to what may happen, I think the prudent thing is to say no right now, which is what I think is a very good idea. I have not had my phone ringing off the hook in favor of this, except I want you to know that I did get one phone call in favor of it. And I have had people tell me, you're not seriously thinking of passing something such a thing. You know, we don't know what the state is gonna come up with, you know, we just don't know. And I don't think the people in the state know that yet. But you do have this vulnerable period between now and that point in time, when they do come up with the final rules and regulations that the state's going to take. And as PJ said, then that, if it is a positive, I think it's going to be in direct contradiction with the federal law. So I think that's how I feel about it right now.
I would say that I concur with the comments that I've heard from the board. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl.
Thanks, Carl.
Keep things moving, Carl. We can always rely on you.
Good question.
Kind of short notice.
Yeah, you do your best at short notice though, Carl. Like when you make
Impromptu, very good.
smart remarks regarding concrete and stuff. Just out of the blue. It didn't take you too long, I did it.
We're not
You
putting
missed last
concrete on all these roads, it's not happening.
That's right. Any other comments?
Well, actually, being a zoning amendment, that would be just treated like any other zoning, right? If somebody really wanted to raise an issue, they could take it to the Board of Zoning Appeals and,
It is a zoning amendment, right?
I mean, it would be treated the same way.
Right.
It is a zoning amendment, so yeah.
Yeah, we handle the same as any other zoning. Like I said, we don't make laws here. The only ability we have to control anything is through, what we can control through zoning, so. That's, but you're right, they have all the same recourses they would have for any other zoning issues. So when you start growing it, you can file for an appeal.
Nobody really seems to know there's not a lot of clarity in how this is going to work, but there's going to be 5, and this is from talking to a fellow that was considering an application for processing. Not merchant, not vending, not selling, not growing, but some variation in between. There's 5 different levels of licenses. This guy wanted to do some processing. His, not knowing what the rules were going to be, but there is all kinds of requirements still in the works for security, fencing around these properties. There could be no liens on the property where the processing was being done. This is a guy explaining to me what was likely to be some of the conditions. Not all, but some. And so it's, chances are it's going to be pretty restrictive once they're done with.
I was doing some research trying to see if there was anything relatively concrete on the issue, but there was no, how much it would cost to get a license, that hasn't been established.
That hadn't been established.
How many licenses are going to be available, that hasn't been established. So it's like I said, everything is just wide open right now.
So we didn't see any need to get out in front of it and say, come on over to Auburn. So, follow their orders of place. Okay.
Any other comments? Going once, going twice?
Let me make a motion and close the hearing.
Okay.
I'll second that.
John?
Yes.
BJ?
Yes.
Mike? Yes.